So, you were sitting here yesterday,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
Approximately, let's see, I think I have it on here. Last night, I was sitting right here. There's obviously a window right there that looks out into the beautiful Oregon forest. And I'm not from here, I'm from Colorado. I was sitting here on the phone with one of my very close friends, and I looked out towards where there's just a ton of trees. I noticed that there was something pretty massive moving about. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in the big forest creatures that everybody believes in here. But what I saw was, at first, what I thought was a very big dog. Then I realized it was taller than the average human being. I saw it walking beyond the trees about maybe 2 rows back. And when I looked at it and stared, it turned its top part of its body and looked at me like it had known that I was looking at it. Like when you're out and about and you can tell somebody's staring at you because you can feel it. And you turn and you see somebody looking at you. It essentially did the same thing, like a human being would. But the way it was walking had very long strides and very heavy footing. When it turned and looked at me, I felt paralyzed. Not just my body, but I couldn't really hear or feel my heart beating at that point because I felt like everything went super still. The hair on my arms was completely raised up and it felt like electricity all around me. I was almost frozen in fear, which is really weird for me because I'm not usually scared of a lot of things. I went to grab my phone and put the camera on, and by the time I had gotten to, maybe I had walked, what would you say, is that 6 feet, 7 feet? By the time I looked back up to try to capture this thing that I was seeing, it was completely gone.
And have you before today or yesterday, have you watched like documentaries or anything online?
The thing is I don't believe in that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe that there are these types of I don't know, I want to call it a forest creature, but I don't believe in it. And you know, I was kind of giving people crap the other day about them believing in whatever people call the Bigfoot out here or anything like that. But what I saw was not human, was not an animal, and it was one of the scariest things that I think I've ever seen in my life.
It couldn't have been a bear?
There's no fucking way it was a bear. I'm sorry, am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
There's no damn way it was a bear. Because I'm from Colorado, and I see bears. I know what bears look like. I know how they walk. I know how they react to people. And I know that if you see a bear from afar, it's not going to look at you. It can't feel you looking at it. That's why I think that this is interesting, because there was a human characteristic about the fact that it felt me looking at it.
And what else have you noticed?
I have noticed that since I've gotten here, there have been no wildlife. I have not seen one bird. I have seen one squirrel since I've been here, and I've been here for 3 days. All I have seen is very, very stillness. Very still. I also went out last night when it was completely dark by myself, and it was the most eerie feeling that I've ever felt in my life. Like there were multiple eyes on me. There's something about the forest around here. There's something about it that's just honestly a little bit mystical and scary at the same time. But it concerned me when I started to realize that there were no wildlife around us. I haven't seen any. I don't know what you guys usually get here, but I haven't seen a deer. I haven't seen barely any squirrels, maybe one. I haven't seen any birds. Everything has been completely calm.
And can you point out the window how far away it was? Open the door here.
Yeah, I mean.
Just kind of let's forget a sense of the distance.
Yeah.
So there's that mosquito closure.
Yeah, so it was beyond the mosquito net part. I would say about 2 rows back of trees.
In which direction?
And it was this way right here. You know, it was this way, but it was walking in this direction. So when it walked by, it with its very, very long stride, it turned like that.
So it didn't turn its neck, it turns its whole body.
You and as a human being, you can't really turn your body like that when you're walking that way. So, and it was dark and had a lot of mass on the top of its body and not a lot of mass on the bottom of its body, but very long legs.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's amazing. Maybe we'll catch something on video.
I want to.
Yeah.
I'm
awesome.
interested, but I'm scared at the same time.
Well, thank you for sharing. It's pretty amazing, especially since I live here.